Tony. Cleveland is a very special place. I've never been there, but 1956 in the Great Uprising, the revolution against Russia, against the Russian oppression. About 1 million Hungarians had to leave the country as the Russians came back, and a lot of them went to Cleveland. So there was a huge, large Hungarian community, as you may know.
Yes, absolutely.
And so it's going to be fun because we're going to reach out for them. So it was funny because as I was a kid, I always heard that the fourth or fifth largest Hungarian town is Cleveland.
Oh. I didn't even realize that. I knew it was big, but wow, okay, very good.
And, yeah, because Hungary's lost 70% of the population after the First World War. So that they went to Slovakia, Ukraine, and to Romania, but millions, 70%, and Serbia and Croatia. And so therefore, they lost a lot of big cities, and actually all of them. And so like the one of the capital of Hungary used to be what today you call Bratislava, which is the capital of Slovakia now. So this is a kind of history. And that's why actually we have one big city in Hungary. This is Budapest, and then 3-4 more, and then Cleveland comes, and then it was the ninth was Los Angeles. So.
Wow. Okay.
Huge
Hungarian. Very good. It'll be just like
around.
Home when you guys come here in next month.
Yeah.
Very good.
So probably have some good Hungarian kitchens there.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes. Tony, welcome in. Thank you for joining.
Sorry, I'm late. We had some mix-up with the link, but here I am.
Very good. Well, welcome in again. I wanted to congratulate both of you on your great new album, A Memory of Our Future. I've been listening to it for the past week or so, and I really enjoy it. I love the music that's on it, and I really love the title. Where did you come up with that title, A Memory of Our Future?
Oh well, I'm a kind of happy old style hippie lyricist, and because English is not my mother tongue, I grew up with this phenomenon that actually I was thinking Hungarian literature, but writing it down in English, and so it always comes a little avant-garde. But Tony's over there, always there to stop on my feet. Anyway, so it was actually had some a deep meaning, as a cuts deep actually, because I thought our societies are so divided, such a painful division there, and it feels like a labyrinth of crisis, and it feels like we lost the compass. And I said, okay, a memory of our futures. We should imagine that one day we're gonna look back today, and somehow we have to say one day we get old, or hopefully we get old, and then we talk to our grandchildren, and they were saying, what the hell you were doing that your society was so divided, so, and what have you done, to bridge over, so, and music is the greatest unifier, and as we all know, and we live up to this old Woodstock hippie idea that we have to do something good for a better world.
Oh, very good. Very good. Now, you did something very different on this album, which was to record it in analog. With all this new technology, why did you go back to something that has been done for a long time?
He owns the machines. That's point number one. They're really, really rare. And you can pick them up for a nickel and a dime, but they won't work. And to have one that's actually two that work and are serviced, that was the big thing. He owns the machines.
Good.
So. The real reality is that after that we have kind of explored the way down the line how to build the best format for that kind of content. And when you start to study music, the first thing what you learn that you should create a great balance of content and format. And the idea was that we owe our audience a handwritten love letter and not a text message. And nowadays, pop music is very often is a text message, and the idea was that to keep it as it is, as it went down. So because the analog has a couple of beautiful aspects, the sonic aspect, of course, it sounds better. I mean, it's very easy to hear that it sounds much better. But the even more important aspect is that we play together, and you cannot post-product anything. So you don't have 24 tracks for a guitar, 24 guitar solos. You have one track for it. So we have to relearn that limitation could be a great inspiration, because we are
you have
so
to
hungry.
to make decisions on the fly.
Yeah.
Decisions that are irreparable. You can't go back and change your mind. Modern music is laid out rhythmically and pitch-wise to a grid. And you could take a mouse and you could shift your bass drum to the one beat of every grid, and you'll get what basically is a drum machine, a rhythm box, even though a guy actually hit the drums. You could take a vocal that is perfect as any robot. Robots don't make mistakes, even though it was sung by a human. And unfortunately, in most, if not all, new modern pop music and I got to say even rock music, people attach themselves to these grids, and kids that have grown up listening since in the last 15 years, listening to pop and their fans, if something's not perfect, and perfect is not a good thing, but if something's not perfect, it sounds wrong to them. That's a scary thought, and the way to get it perfect is to get the best performance out of the artist in the moment. And if it works, it works, And if it doesn't exactly measure up to that grid, either sonically or temporally, who cares?
Right.
The point is, it's really important that we play together, and analog forcing us to do so, and because I'm not a painter, although I'm painting, and I'm not a poet, although I write poems. I'm a musician. To be a musician means that every and each song and production is a mutual work. I mean, we work together. The most stupid terminology in the music industry is solo record, because most of the solo record just means that's another drummer plays, not your bandmate. So this is and this is always a collaboration. That's why I'm saying psychologists are sending you your invoices for the talent what we have, because when you are 16 years old and you really have as a band leader the responsibility to know that the whole band is going to be there in your first gig, then you understand how people are getting there and making the best. And an analog recording means that not everyone is at home and sending files back and forth. It's just getting together, smelling each other, feeling each other, looking at each other's eyes, cooking together, talking about family life, politics, instruments, music, lyrics, production, sounds, whatever, and talking about life, and that's why analog recording serves more the soul of music, and because of serves more the soul of musicians.
Right. I agree with you. Feeding off each other in the same room definitely has a better feel than just sending files, I'm sure. Absolutely.
If you drop a reel of 2-inch tape on your foot, you'll be walking in a cast for 6 months. Those things are heavy. We have 50 reels of tape in the studios. Those things are really, really heavy.
Sure.
And they're getting rare.
Right. Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have a variety of musicians that played on this new record, just like you have throughout your whole career with your group. Why not keep the same core group of guys together, or do you like the idea of having people coming in with fresh ideas and experiences?
Can I?
None of that. But sorry, Tony, no one ever left that band.
Okay.
Part of the tragical moments when people change from Soulmates to Jimi Hendrix in heaven. So we have not lost anyone. I mean, we tragedy that someone was walking out the door, and so it's just the tragedy that Jack Bruce or Greg Lake or Michael Brecker, Victor Bailey, that we lost these wonderful players. I mean,
Bobby Kimball.
Bobby Kimball, yeah, and and this and some of us like Chris Thompson are just not in a good shape, and not in a good condition anymore, and that you could be a part of a kind of this kind of project with that physical challenges what it comes along with it, and this is the real thing. So
you only leave the Soulmates in a box.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Very good. The first track on the record, Blood in the Water, I really enjoy it. I mean, as soon as you hear that flute, you know it's Ian Anderson. And he's been in the group for quite a long time as well, right?
From he was founding member, so
yeah, very good.
From the very beginning, so it's a great friend and very close to me.
So like you were saying, so everyone came. Was this recorded in Germany?
Yeah, in my studio. Yeah,
in your studio.
This is by Blake Steinberg, and I have this kind of a very modern but an old style big studio where Bösendorfer and Hammond and all this.
Nice, very good. Another track I really like is "We Stay Loud." It kind of reminds me a little of Peter Gabriel with the music and the horns and that as well. Tony, do you have a favorite track from the
"We
record?
Stay Loud" is one of my favorites, and it absolutely murders live. It kills. I mean, it's better than the record live. Somehow, it has more energy, if that's possible. And I really like Enigma of Reason, which is, I think, track 2, which features the amazing Richard Bona. That's his angelic voice singing. Okay. He learned that as a child in Cameroon. He grew up in Africa and self-taught, everything self-taught. He learned it in a Catholic church in the sound of a big stone building and the natural reverb that it gives. And when he plays live, he sings along to what he's playing. And he's playing like Jaco Pastorius. He's playing super, super clean and fast and singing every note. And that just knocks me out. And that's a high spot for me on the record. Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Leslie, how about you? I know, someone says, like every song is like a child. I can't pick a favorite, but do you have a track that stands out on this record for you?
Not at all. This is enjoyed the 80 minutes in one piece, actually, as a concept album, and ending up with an improvisation because we were just done, and I don't know who was coming up, but someone said, well, if we do a double vinyl and one single CD, that we have a couple of minutes left and technical capacity. So do you have another song, Leslie? I said, I do not have any. It's fine. And then we just made a free improvisation, and that's rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. Well, both of you are going to be leaving Germany here at the beginning of February and coming to Cleveland, my hometown, to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And everybody that buys a ticket, I've read, is going to receive a copy of the book, The 30 Years of the Mandoki Soulmates. How did the book come about?
Yeah, well, because everybody was asking, how this, so a million questions. And we thought, okay, to make for all the fans and all the people that supporting us like you do right now, the easier thing is we just put it in a book that you can see, that you see the quotes and you see us playing, you see us in the studio, and and we can, we can tell the story in this way a little bit and bring it to closer to you. That's the idea behind.
Oh, very good. I've read it's going to be the evening is going to be some stories, and there's going to be a little live performance. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's going to happen that night?
I mean, we're gonna show a movie, a little movie, and it's about half an hour, something like that. It's about the behind the scene thing,
Okay.
that you can sort of have a impression how does it really work, and so this is one thing, and then we're gonna talk a little bit or longer. We come up with some stories, and like we do it with you, and then is there a piano and some percussion? Then we were gonna play maybe 2, 3 songs or 4, whatever, and but just to give a little insight which way we do. Yeah.
This will be the campfire version. We won't have 22 people on stage
Okay.
Like we normally
do. Yeah.
Right. Very good. Now, Leslie, you've said you've never been to Cleveland, but Tony, have you any memories of playing in Cleveland throughout your career?
Cleveland, Dayton, Columbus, Toledo, and 3 more. I toured Ohio extensively. This is 40 years ago. And what stood out about Ohio is Ohio and Texas, and maybe Florida, have the most rock joints. And I couldn't believe what rabid fans Cleveland had, and in these noisy drunk rock and roll clubs. I mean, I was a kid.
Sure.
I was also pretty noisy and drunk, and everything worked out well. And I have a lot of memories. It's cold now, though, huh?
Oh, it's very cold. It's going to be negative 25 next week.
Yeah, you're the 4th person that's warned us how cold. We don't have winters here in Europe anymore. I've been here for almost 50 years.
Wow.
And we haven't had a winter in 20, and there's no snow. It's in the 40s, and yeah.
Wow. Well, it's snowy here.
I'll bring my long underwear.
Yes, please do. Speaking of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who were some of your guys' influences growing up that I'm sure are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, there's countless, because we're living in this musical kingdom of rock and roll. So there are always some records, some songs are hitting you like crazy, and unexpectedly, and for us musicians, is only 2 kind of music, and a kind of either good or bad, and we've always been like, let's say Tony Carey, probably for many people, oh, this is a hard rock keyboard genius, virtuoso Hammond player, but he's a wonderful songwriter. He could be a country songwriter.
I am a country songwriter.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you that.
Sure.
So I could be, as I was 19, I thought I'm going to be the young Tony Williams, and he was a drummer of Miles Davis, and he came out with a solo record, a Tony Williams Lifetime, and was Larry Young on Hammond, who called himself Collegieri Yashin later on, and. So and John McLaughlin was playing on that album, and I said, "Wow!" First time I heard Weather Report, I thought I'd go into this way, but then poetry was catching me. So when we go to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you are there with the greats. So
there's a thing to remember is that there's a lot of stuff that's good, but good is actually the enemy of great, and it's like the judge famously said about pornography. I can't define it, but I know it when I see it.
Right.
Good is the enemy of great, and my influences will be anything that's great. And I guess I know what I'm talking about. I don't expect anybody else to, but Actual physical influences would be Rick Wakeman, James Taylor, you know, a lot of country. I'm from California in the Central Valley. A lot of Buck Owens country. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good. An eclectic group of people. Yeah. Well, if you've never been to the museum itself, it is fantastic. They're actually going to be expanding it. So, make sure you take some time and check
Cool.
it
No,
all
I
out.
haven't seen it. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely well worth it to check out. I'm a charter member. I've been going since '95, and the updates
Super.
they've been made, it's fantastic. I think you really will enjoy it.
Super.
Well, unfortunately, I only have a few more minutes left here. I joined my Zoom here a little early. So it definitely sounds like a great evening. I know that I'm going to be there personally. I'm looking forward to the night. And I'm going to let all the fans in Cleveland know that you guys are going to be there, and they should be there too. Any parting words for the people coming out to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on February 6th?
So we are happy to see you all. Thank you for having us there, and it's a great honor, and it's a privilege to be there. And maybe if it sounds silly, but you will like the little movie we're going to show you too. So as much as we're going to talk and play, whatever. But this is also kind of very special thing, because you will see very intimate musical moments on stage, backstage, and the studio, and so on. We're looking forward to see you all.
Wow.
Two things.
Yes.
One, you'll get a free book. Two, I do know where you live, and if you don't come, I'll be at your house and we'll have a talk.
Fair enough. And I also read you guys are actually going to be signing books and albums after the talk. Will albums be made available for everyone there as well?
Not for free.
Oh, no, of course not. But albums will be there.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Very good. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today. I wish I had a little bit longer time, but I will see you guys in a few weeks here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
I appreciate it.
I'll be the guy in the four pairs of pants.
You won't be alone.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
See ya. Thank you.
Yeah.